today I'm going to show you how to build and automate anything with NotebookLM. Now, this is a free tool that you can use to basically automate and build anything you want. And I want to show you multiple different ways you can use to code with this and build out cool projects and that sort of thing. Now, there are the basics. So for example, you can do deep research, you can pull in sources like you can see here. And then also on the right-hand side, you can, for example, create podcasts, you can create videos, you can create mind maps, reports, flashcards, quizzes, infographics, slide decks, data tables even, right? So for example, if you pull in some research like you can see on the left-hand side over here, we could actually click on data table and then quickly generate a table with a ton of data that we can actually use later for a report and that sort of thing. Now, also what we can do here is we can create videos. The cool thing about these videos is if I, for example, show you an SEO test that we did recently, we actually ranked a fully AI automated video, completely faceless, like you can see right here, and it's ranking #1 for that keyword on Google directly, right? So you can see the video that we've created over here, and this is fully generated and automated with AI. Now, you can easily download those videos from NotebookLM, and then potentially you could use those to generate more leads or generate more customers or attract more attention directly on YouTube. The other cool thing here is you can use these data tables like you can see here, and you can actually export those to Google Sheets. So for example, if we click on export sheets over here, what this will do is break down all our sources and then give us some ideas on, okay, here's what people typically use for AI voice agents or sales discovery or lead follow-up. It's actually listed all the tools that people use for using this based on the sources we loaded into Notebook. Even, for example, little stuff like, you know, our standard operating procedure highlights and that sort of thing. And then it has a list of the references on the other tab. So what we can actually do here is if we took that information and then we went over to Gemini, you can use NotebookLM in a couple of different ways inside Gemini. Now, if you're on the Ultra or the Pro plan, you can actually load in multiple notebooks and that'll pull in multiple sources like you can see. Or what you can do is you can actually go on the dynamic view over here and you can say, okay, let's take all the chat history, right? So this is kind of like a custom trained chatbot based on the sources we've loaded in. We can go into Gemini over here, paste that into dynamic view, and that will actually create like a mini app that we can use to take all that information and consolidate it into a nice little UI, which is super easy and that sort of thing. And you can see this is now beginning to code out this mini app like you can see right here. The other thing that you can actually do is you can take that same information and then you can plug it into Gemini like this, and you could create, for example, like an image, or you could create, for example, a video as well. Now, additionally, what you can also do is you can use this to build voice agents, right? So let me show you something else. So if we're like, okay, give me the script from the training, right? And that will take the information from all the sources that we loaded in, right? And we've got a list of 50 sources here. So if we import those in, we can use that as training data for the AI. But then also in NotebookLM, we can actually export the information. So the most important information, like the script, as you can see right here, this is a training document for sales. And then we can go over to AI Studio over here. And if we go to build, then you're going to select, for example, create conversational voice apps, right? This is inside aistudio.google.com. You can load in the model, create conversational voice apps, and describe the idea that you want, right? So what I can actually do is copy all the information from this note on the sales script. I can go over to AI Studio, plug that in, like you can see right here, and then I can say, okay, create a voice agent to train my team on how to do sales calls, right? Based on the script. Train my sales reps to implement and practice the script, right? Then we're going to hit enter. So we can hit build like this. And what that'll actually do is just go off and start creating an AI agent voice app that my team can learn and train with, right? So you can see how you can basically export all the information from NotebookLM. And this is also great for just generating, you know, the basics, right? So for example, audio, video, mind maps, reports, flashcards, quizzes, infographics, slide decks, data tables, they're all awesome, right? That's great for using NotebookLM. But then what you can also do is you can build these beautiful mini apps like you can see right here that takes all the information from the notebook and just turns it into a beautiful little guide, as you can see, right? And then also inside Gemini, Google AI Studio, you can then use this to build out an AI agent voice app as well, right? And so there's so much potential to this. There's so many cool things you can do. Now, if we actually click on allow like this, we can actually switch between, for example, a human discovery call or we can do an AI voice agent script, right? Like you can see right here. And if we click on start training, this will basically act as a training app that we can test out. Now we can test out, see if it's any good or not. We'll click on here and then we're going to click on start training. It's going to ask us to allow our mic. Just want to test if this is working or not.
I can hear you fine. Ready to jump in when you are.
Awesome. So should we do like a training session for training my sales reps and they can just talk to you and ask you questions, etc.? And then we'll go back, mute this, and you can see how you can use this AI agent. Now, one of the things that's important to note here is like, this is not going to work perfectly first time around. So you see, for example, when we use this bit, it didn't actually work, right? But when we switched to the human discovery call section, that's when it started working. And also it got a bit laggy on the second response, right? So you just want to go inside here and just explain the errors that you have and then go back and forth until you fix it. But that's basically how you can use NotebookLM to build out AI voice agents, videos, how to export data and turn it into mini apps, how to take the information and turn it into a voice agent, right? And the way that I see this is like you can distill the information from all the sources that you want to load and then use that in any way that you want. If you actually go inside the chat here and then you go to the custom section, you can type in the persona that you want this to act as. So you could, for example, if you were training your sales team, you could put inside the examples here, okay, act as a sales trainer for my team. Or let's say you were trying to train your team to use AI automation. You could put inside the custom section, act as an AI automation expert, pull in loads of information about AI automation on the left-hand side, and then just train yourself or train your team inside the chatbot here to ask any questions. The other thing that you'll see inside our training documents, this is something else that I recommend, is like for any sort of process, we'll actually create a custom GPT or a chatbot in general. And you can do this inside NotebookLM just by sharing this link. And then they can ask questions inside the chat here about anything that they need help with, right? So for example, if I'm like, okay, what are our packages? We can type that in, and instead of them asking me or waiting for me to be online or waiting for a meeting with me, they can just ask questions inside the chat here and get responses as soon as they need them. So there's so much you can do with NotebookLM. It's actually endless. Most people think it's just good for podcasts, and they're actually wrong. There's so much more you can do with this. And also, if you want to get personalized help, support from me, etc., and also our community with 2,000 members, you can learn how to use AI automation for your business inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments in the description. And inside the community here, you can ask any questions. You can join our accountability group, which is daily, where we post our goals and what we're working on, that sort of thing. Also, I personally answer the questions inside the community too. And if you ever get stuck, you can ask questions in there and get help and support whenever you need it. Also, inside the win section here, you'll see how people are winning. So, for example, like Jay, he built his first AI video project based on the training inside the Profit Boardroom. You can see here that Vladimir is building his own mini courses, right? You can see that Darren built his first AI NA10 workflow, right? And most people struggle with that, but he built it using the training from the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you want to get all this stuff, plus my 6-week masterclass on how to go from beginner to expert in AI and build your first AI agent in 5 minutes. If you want to learn how we automate AI avatar videos, if you want to see how to get more clients for your agency and land more clients, you can check out the agency course. And also we've got our best AI SEO automations and a YouTube 6-week roadmap that shows you exactly how we've grown our YouTube channel as well. And that's inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. So appreciate you watching and hope to see you inside there. Cheers. Bye-bye.